get us started today, I'm pleased to welcome someone who embodies Wisconsin's strong tradition of public service, Justice Rebecca Frank Dallet of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justice Dallet has served on the Wisconsin Supreme Court since 2018. Immediately before joining the court, she served as a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge, Associate Dean of the Wisconsin Judicial College, and an adjunct professor at Marquette Law School. Justice Dallet is deeply committed to expanding access to justice and serves as the Supreme Court's liaison to Wisconsin's Access to Justice Commission. We are so grateful that she agreed to participate in some of our early planning discussions and give our opening remarks today. Please join in me in welcoming to the stage Justice Rebecca Frank Dallet.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here with so many colleagues and partners who share the same goal, making sure justice isn't just promised, but delivered. Thank you again to our hosts, Legal Services Corporation, Ascendium Education Group, Quarles and Brady, and Frontline Justice for bringing us together today. And thank you to everyone here and those joining online for the work you do every day to help people across this country access justice when they need it most. I also want to acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered, this land that we love, where we live, work, and seek to do justice, is part of the traditional and contemporary homelands of the Ho-Chunk people, a place their nation has called Teejop for centuries. This acknowledgement is a step on a continuing journey to learn, to understand, and to be in responsible relationship with history. Today, we honor and respect the sovereignty of the Ho-Chunk Nation, along with the 11 other indigenous First Nations within what is now the state of Wisconsin. Our state court system and sovereign tribal courts each serve vital roles in ensuring equal access to justice for the people in these lands. In acknowledging the sacredness of this place and its history, I want to affirm a responsibility to strengthen collaboration between our justice systems and to ensure that our courts are accessible and fair to all communities. Wisconsin is a fitting place to have the conversation about rural access to justice. Across our state and across our nation, we're seeing a widening gap between where lawyers live and where legal help is needed. Here in Wisconsin, 3 out of 4 attorneys live in just 3 of the most populated counties, Dane, Milwaukee, and Waukesha. That leaves large parts of our state where people simply can't find a lawyer when they need one. And we can see the results of this attorney shortage, particularly in rural areas, is that people are not having their legal problems resolved. As you'll read in the LSC's report from the Rural Justice Task Force, it indicates that more than 77% of low-income rural households experienced at least one civil legal problem last year, and that these households did not receive any or enough legal help to address those problems 94% of the time. The costs of this attorney shortage are substantial. Domestic abuse victims have to figure out how to file a restraining order, and if they're even able to do so, must often face their abusers alone. Veterans are unable to secure benefits. Families can lose their homes, either through eviction or foreclosure. Parents can lose custody of their children. The ripple effects of all of these losses impact our entire community. The entire justice system suffers as well. Cases that should take one hearing stretch into several as individuals try to navigate unfamiliar rules and procedures on their own. People ultimately can lose faith in the fairness of the system and its ability to resolve their problems. I will never forget a trial I presided over when I was a circuit court judge in Milwaukee County. It involved a man who was being evicted from his apartment, and he had no money to hire an attorney. He was able to use the Legal Help Center in the Milwaukee County Courthouse to file his lawsuit, but he had no help in trying his case. At trial, he described his apartment as having a broken toilet, a leaking ceiling, and otherwise in dire need of repair. But he had taken no photographs and was unable to introduce into evidence any documentation to counter the testimony of the landlord that the apartment was perfectly fine and that he had just failed to pay the rent. It was difficult to watch someone with no legal training struggle to navigate in a system not designed for unrepresented litigants. And at the end of the trial, he had lost not only his home, but also his confidence that the courts were a place where you can obtain justice. The civil legal aid shortage, especially in light of recent funding cuts, is a pressing problem that demands immediate attention and innovativeness in finding solutions. Here in Wisconsin, we have been working towards some of these solutions. Some examples include the work of the State Bar. They have created a rural clerkship program to give law students the chance to work alongside rural judges and attorneys. The State Bar and the Law Foundation have partnered to provide a stipend to recruit attorneys to practice in rural Wisconsin, and this was made possible by a generous private donation. Our Supreme Court has expanded pro bono opportunities, allowing inactive and emeritus attorneys to volunteer, and awarding continuing legal education credit to practicing attorneys for their pro bono service. We have allowed for more funding to be directed towards civil legal aid providers, and we convened an attorney retention and recruitment committee to examine ways to attract and retain attorneys in the communities that need them most. And the Wisconsin Access to Justice Commission, which I have been the liaison to for the past 7 years, continues to study these issues and promote solutions. They've mapped legal service deserts, examined the rise of debt collection and eviction cases, and pushed for reforms that make courts easier to navigate for people without lawyers. Even with very limited funding, they've created the Wisconsin Free Legal Answers website, an online service where individuals can ask legal questions. Volunteer attorneys can then log on to answer those questions and provide limited scope representation. Every month, this service facilitates attorneys and law students working under the supervision of attorneys in helping resolve over 150 legal questions that may have otherwise gone unanswered. Additionally, it provides a central location linking Wisconsinites to civil legal aid programs across the state, which may be able to provide additional legal help. This website, along with the bar associations, our law school clinical programs, our Supreme Court, all of us are assisting Wisconsin attorneys in fulfilling their oath to never reject, from any consideration personal to themselves, the cause of the defenseless and oppressed. We still have a lot of work to do to provide legal help to those in need, which is where all of you come in. I'm thrilled to see you all here today to learn more about the rural attorney shortage and consider how states across the country are successfully using different models to provide legal help for everyone, regardless of whether they live in an urban or rural community. It's about finding new ways to meet people where they are, geographically, economically, and culturally, and making sure our systems are ready to meet them halfway. When people have meaningful access to legal help, our entire justice system works better. Outcomes are fairer, decisions are better informed, cases move more efficiently, and people leave believing that the system is worthy of their trust. Access to justice strengthens not only the individuals we serve, but the very foundation of our democracy. Thank you all for being here and the commitment you bring to ensuring that justice truly reaches every corner of this country. Meaningful access to justice requires collaboration among lawyers, judges, advocates, and community partners alike. As Cesar Chavez, famous labor leader and civil rights activist, said, "Together, all things are possible." And as we say here in Wisconsin, forward. Thank you.